Today on Project Shop, we're going to be taking a look at some more big transformers. I got a whole bunch of these laying around here. This one I picked up from a giant plaza down in Miami. It was actually brand new, and you can see all the rust on here. So they installed this for a water fountain, and some genius landscape sprinkler guy decided to put a sprinkler that literally sat here and blasted straight up in under the cover that these things have. Like, I got a bunch over here, and you can see that they have these openings here. You can have these outside in the rain, you know, and they usually, it's not too bad getting a little moisture, but when you got a sprinkler just blasting straight up in there, it's not too good. So anyway, I went and picked that up on site, and then is this it? Yeah, I went to his office, and he had a couple transformers and nice little chunk of wire, some more transformers, and some batteries and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to break these down today. I'm going to get all this off the trailer. It's Sunday, probably close to 5 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is get all these giant transformers staged up in place so that I can break them all down at once. All right, got them all set up. I got them all spaced out enough so that I can work around them. And I do have the cover for this. It's in the back of my truck, so I can actually get the weights. Each of these transformers, somewhere on here, it tells you the weight. This one's 315 pounds. So what I can do is go ahead and just get all the weights off of them. And then when I'm done, what we're going to get out of this is cast aluminum, some, I guess you can consider that clean copper, and then over here there is a, or I'm sorry, clean aluminum, and then there is a #1 copper little ground bar always on these, and then prepared steel and a little bit of sheet steel. I keep these intact as much as possible. If you start messing around with these too much, these plates will start coming undone, and then the place, normally they might say something, but if you bring it in one solid chunk, you can get prepared steel for it. And that's what we're going to do. So I'll show you the fastest way. I did one of these before, and in that video I want to show you something. If you look at these transformers, they're always offset so that you can work on one side basically. And the last time I actually cut all these off, which you have to do to separate each 3 coils, and I worked on this side. Now that I remember back, because I ain't done them in a while, it's easier if you clean this side off. You have to cut it, you know, remove these, and then cut from this side for 2 reasons. One, you're not dealing with all these taps, right? So when you're grinding and especially when you're trying to cut this side, you know, these taps could get in the way or whatnot. But anyway, you're not dealing with those taps. It's a little cleaner on this side. And when I go to pry these out, I have a big pry bar. Once you get these off, cut, you know, one of these clean off. Normally what I do, I'll show you. We're going to cut down here, and then we're going to come in right here and cut into here and remove that chunk, and then stick a pry bar down in here and knock these off. And why I like to pry them this way is because this is offset, and you actually get a little bit more leverage when you stick your bar in here and you go to pry. It doesn't want to tilt as much. It just makes it easier getting it out. And I'll show you the blade I'm going to use. It's no joke. If you're not comfortable with grinders, especially I'm going to use a big old 7-inch grinder with a carbide aluminum and copper cutting blade. You got to be extremely careful. All right, so I always like to check my scales against each other because this thing's always on my trailer getting beat around. So let's just see what this scale reads. So we're at 84 pounds on the floor scale. Now we're gonna see what the crane scale reads. I already had the I don't know, you can't see that. Dang, there we go. Minus 13.6 is the tear for this, right? So let me just put that in. So on the digital scale, I don't know why it looked so dark. We're at, hold on, 83.2. So these scales, that scale's only accurate to half a pound. This one's accurate to 2/10 of a pound. So we're within a pound. I'm okay with that. Okay, I got 34 transformers up there in 8 minutes and 36 seconds. I wasn't really going that fast. I'm kind of just killing time while my tacos heat up. I don't want to get into this on an empty stomach because when I start, I'm just going to want to keep going. What I am going to do is actually, I'll set the timer up so I can keep track of actually how much time, but I'm going to probably pull the covers off right now and then take a break and eat lunch because it's already 2:36. I'm gonna eat lunch and then knock these out. Actually, I'll probably come out here and break these down real quick just so I get that really loud popping out of the way. Okay, we're at 33, 31. Actually, I have a little bit more to do to this one. I got to pull these off, but they're pretty much all prepped for cutting. And see, they're all different. All right, so that took about 15 minutes, and there was a couple more of these with the locks on them. I don't know if you can tell, but there's basically notches on these that won't let it go through the machine, so they got to be cut. And I got a whole pile back here. Let's see if I can't knock these out. I'm gonna put the time lapse on this, and then I might do this one here with a head cam on. But what I'm gonna do is I'm using a Diablo aluminum cutting blade. This is this one's brand new, but this one will cut aluminum, plastic, copper, brass, or fiberglass. And this thing ain't no joke, man. If you're not comfortable wheeling like a little grinder like this with one hand, I wouldn't even consider running this 7-inch grinder with this carbide bit. You're better off running blades like this, 16th inch metal cutoffs. These will cut. And what's nice about these is if you get into the steel anywhere, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. It just ain't gonna cut that aluminum as fast. And I was wanting to go to the welding supply store and see if they had aluminum blades, because I have some, I don't think I have any here, but I have some thick aluminum grinding discs for grinding down aluminum. And they're really cool because they don't gum up like when you like if you put aluminum on a grinder wheel or you know, one of these thick grinders, it's going to gum up and not going to cut that much, and it cuts like butter. It's really incredible. So I'm wondering if they have aluminum cutoff discs that would actually be better suited for this, what I'm doing, because putting this on a grinder is dangerous, okay? And you really got to be careful where you're cutting and watch for kickbacks. Now, each one of these is different. Like this one here, a lot of times I like cutting over here, you know, away from all this craziness. You know, it's nice and clean on the back sides, and they're offset. So once you cut that and you get your pry bar down in here, it's easier to put that, push it that way. But if you look at this one, I still have to take this off the top. This one has a metal spacer back here. So for me to get in the side here, that's gonna be kind of sketchy with that blade. The cutoff wouldn't be that bad. Now on this side, it's got the fiberglass spacers. Normally what I would do is, like this one's the same way. It's got a steel spacer back there. But when they have like the fiberglass spacers, I'll get that blade in there and try to ride right down that spacer, you know? That way your blade's into something that ain't gonna tear it up, you know? This is gonna be sketchy. But, you know, most of the time you put that carbide blade in there, you cut about 90% of it down, and then you get back in there with a sawzall or come back in with a small grinder. Even sometimes I can get in there with the bolt cutters or cable cutters. But I'm gonna put this on time lapse real quick, and we're gonna see where we're at. All right, we're at 1 hour and 20 minutes. We got one more to go, and I just need to make a couple cuts on this. It was getting close to the steel. I'm just going to run the blade right down the center on both sides and free all that up. These ones came out all right. This one's coming apart. A lot of times I like to I cut that with the bolt cutters, but if you can unscrew them or even get some other all threads, screw them back on to hold that together, so you still get prepared steel. I'm gonna put the head cam on and try to do it with this. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we'll try it. And then I'll clean this up real quick and hopefully be done with this. The breaker kept popping with that big old grinder, and I got a 100-foot extension cord. So you see my buddy in there spraying the blade with some soapy water. Maybe it'd make it a little less drag on the blade in there. What happens is you start cutting this stuff, and sometimes they get loose and they start moving around in there and start pinching on the blade. And you'll see a couple times, like I think on that one over there, man, that blade kicked up out of there, and you just got to hold on for dear life and jam that motherfucker back in there. Alright. Everything's covered. GoPro's covered with aluminum. Hour and 57 minutes. And what was that, plus 37 minutes for prepping before I started. Still probably got 10-15 minutes of cleanup, but we're done cutting, thank God. If I never have to cut an aluminum transformer the rest of my life, I'll be happy. Okay, that's it for now. We got all this cast, and then all that heavy steel, and we're at 2 hours and 11 minutes. So I'm done for the day. My freaking forearms are all pumped up from having a death grip on that giant carbide cutting grinder. And let's take a look at our bit. We got into some steel a couple times, but still got a pretty good edge on them carbide tips. And you can see in that video, when this thing catches, it ain't no joke. Oh man, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but this thing tightened up so much, it's actually bending that blade. No wonder no wonder that blade was fighting me. So the blade is actually like this, and that's why you can see it worn out a lot right there, because it was in there grabbing. I mean, normally they look like that, and this one got into a lot of steel. See all them missing teeth? The old chunks taken out. These blades here are still cutting though. But like I said, you can use these blades, these thin steel cutting blades, but nothing is gonna cut like this this blade right here. But as you can see in that video, it ain't take a second for that thing to catch on something and kick back. So that's gonna be it for tonight. Okay, so I'm back at it. It's actually like an entire day and a half later. I got sidetracked with some other things yesterday. I just want to go over real quick why I was having such a problem with this blade. I was actually running the wrong collar. I had this thing in there, and if you can see, it's got that deep kind of cup in there. I should have been running one of these, where you just put that on there, and the blade just sits flush on there, and then this just squeezes it, and the blade still just rotates on there. It's just squeezed by these, which when that thing jams or whatever, if it bites, it really just kind of slips or tightens itself up even more. But what's happening in here, when this was on there, when it was getting jammed or just tightening up from regular use, it was actually bending the blade. Like it was sucking in and putting a lot of pressure. If you can see, the back side of this blade is all smooth, where because when it was in there, it was like, let me see, it was, oh shit, when it was in there, that blade was actually bent, like bending. So it was almost like a dinner plate basically. And then when you're trying to get in the cut, you know, like that, and your bent blade is wider than the segments, that's why I couldn't figure out why I was having such a hard time keeping the blade in there. Normally you'd sink this in there and you'd almost have to uh, stop it from dropping down so fast so it doesn't bite in. You're almost letting the saw come down, but you're actually holding it up. Kind of hard to explain, but this should have been cutting way faster. And for the most parts, where you see where I'm just getting in there cutting like 1 or 2 coils at a time, this thing was cutting like butter, no problem. But when I was getting in there real deep, it was creating a lot of drag on that blade, pulling a lot of amps on this, and it kept popping my breaker, you know. And then I just wanted to get it done, so even though it was fighting me, I just gripped on that thing harder and just jammed it back in there. So what we're gonna do now is load these on my trailer and get all this steel out of here. I'm tired of looking at these transformers. They've been here for too long. And then I'm gonna go and get some new tires, because well, I actually have the new tires, but look at here. See that? Big old bubble. And this is like a brand new tire. Thing done bubbled up. Look at that. All the belts are breaking in there. And that's the third one. I'm not impressed with National Road Max ST tires. This is the second one that bubbled up, and then I had one that literally just blew up, and this still got 80% tread on it. I bought all 6 of these. I bought like 6 of these tires all at once. So we're gonna try. This is a $60 tire. We're gonna step it up to an $80 tire and see how they do. And if they do good, I might even put fenders back on this thing. Okay, another disclaimer, and I probably should put this at the beginning of the video. So I just want to tell you straight out, I wouldn't recommend using a carbide blade on a skill saw unless you're extremely comfortable. And if you'll notice in that video, I never stand and cut directly in front of the blade like this. You know, I'm always off to the side, so if that thing kicks, it's gonna kick up over here, and when it kicks up, I can, as it's kicking up, just push it away from me, you know, if I had to. And that comes from my years of cutting concrete. When I used to cut concrete, the smallest blade we spun was a 20-inch handheld saw for cutting through 8-inch block. And then we had a 24-inch hand saw, and then there's even 30-inch hand saws, which I've never run. But we got in, when we get into 30-inch, like 12-inch cutting, we would use a track saw, which you bolt to the wall. And I'll show you some cool pictures of what I used to do one day. When I say I cut concrete for a living, not like I come in here and cut this concrete slab. Yeah, I did some of that, but mainly I'd come in there and cut like a bridge down, or, you know, 100-ton piece of concrete that needed to be removed, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm gonna put the time lapse on, and we're gonna get this stuff loaded up, and then what I'm gonna do is take this to the steel yard, and then I'll come back and weigh this other stuff up, you know, because I think they stopped receiving it like 4:30 or something. Yeah, we have 12.4 pounds of cast aluminum for those transformers. We got 80.2 pounds of number 2 copper for that breakdown. Okay, this is all the aluminum from those large transformers. 515.6 pounds minus 83 pounds. This is super sketchy. I got the super boom extended out and a lot of counterbalance back there. Had to put some batteries on there. And this is another box full of batteries and some steel. But we got it up. And I think that's it. Yep, we're bouncing. Okay, I gotta apologize to you guys. I accidentally lost all the tickets for the steel, and then I deleted a bunch of videos by accident in my desperate attempt to look at this, free up space on my computer, because I only have like 34 gigabytes of a terabyte, and I was literally down to like 10 gigabytes. So I deleted like 90 gigabytes of stuff I thought I didn't need. But look what happened here. This is sad. This was probably 2 hours. See that? 44 minutes I edited it down to. All them cuts and edits. I have no idea what happened to that video. All gone. So I don't know what's happening there. But here's some good news. Remember in that other video I said I had like 10 videos? It's more like 20. I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I have time to edit all that. I might just dump all them videos on my other channel. So all that sad news, here's some good news. Look at this. So yeah, this should be on the way. I wasn't kidding when I said I am building a 100-ton press. And this thing used was not cheap. 10,000 PSI system. So we just got that 10,000 PSI double acting pump for a 10,000 PSI double acting ram. This thing's the real deal, man. This ram new is big money. Look at that. It's like 13, almost 14 inches tall. 3 3/4 pusher, and it's 7 inches wide. This thing is no joke. I don't know why it has 3 ports. It's I don't know. I've never seen one, and I'm not sure what that is. If that's a check valve or it's got a number on it. I can look that up. That valve there is probably expensive just because it says enter pack. Yeah, it looks like a flow control valve. I don't know. It's gonna be pretty cool though. I don't know if I'm gonna get to start building on that. The way I'm gonna build it, you know how most presses, the carriage on the bottom moves? Well, my 100-ton press, the carriage is gonna move on the top. And it's just gonna be a little bit different. But I'm gonna have it adjustable every 6 inches. I forget what the guy said. I think this has like a 10-inch stroke or 8-inch stroke or something. I really need a hydraulic ram or 2 of them with like 4 feet of stroke. But for the time being, this will get me cracking motors, okay? And pretty much anything else I put underneath of it. All right, so if I sound tired, it's because it's 1 o'clock or 1:50 in the morning, and I am tired. But if you come this far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I got lots of cool stuff coming.